everyone. Welcome back to another edition of What's Happening Now with CNI Solutions. As always, remember to like, share, and comment on this broadcast live, as there could be some information not only useful to yourself, but to others, perhaps a family member or friend. Some of the things we got going on here locally and dealing with CNI Solutions. Holiday season is coming upon us, so there's going to be some events that we're going to be trying to get going during the holiday season. Always, we're going to be doing our Christmas Smiles events at the Bob Harrison Senior Citizen Center, and along with our toy drive for the kids here in the local community. Our entrepreneurship classes, we're going to be starting those back up at the first of the year. We finished our ones for the last quarter back in October, so we'll start a new one up at the first of the year, and we'll be getting that kicked off with Oakwood University, along with some of the local community people in play. So tonight, we got some special guests here all the way from Savannah, Georgia. We have My Veterans Place, and the founders and owners are here, and I'm going to allow them to introduce themselves. If you will, please introduce yourselves.
Hello, everyone. My name is Faye Prescott, and I am the CEO of My Veterans Place Savannah.
And I am Emmett Prescott. I am the president of My Veterans Place Savannah.
So, Faye and Emmett, welcome. Thank you guys for being here. You know, I can tell you right now, there's going to be a lot of questions coming across the board with a lot of changes that are happening here in America, especially dealing with our veterans. So I hope you guys are prepared for that. So let's get to the nitty gritty of it all. What prompted you guys to start My Veterans Place?
Well, My Veterans Place was a shared vision of ours, as we have always been helping veterans while we were still in the military. They have been calling us and asking us directions on a lot of things. And when we got out of the military, they still continued to call. And we noticed that there were a lot of veterans who needed help with some of the things that we knew. So we decided to start a nonprofit organization to help these veterans get some of the things that they needed to get done. One of the first things that we did when we moved to Savannah was help a veteran just to receive a Purple Heart. That's just how simple things we feel that are simple, but other veterans who don't know the process on how to do stuff seems like it's a mountain to them to climb. So we are here to help them get the things that they need in life.
So, you know, do you often find a lot of our veterans who have served in the military not knowing what they need to do or not knowing how to get certain benefits done?
We do see a lot of veterans getting out of the military, not getting connected with the VA. When they're getting out of the military and transitioning, they go through those briefings, and it's like, okay, I'm going through the briefing and I'm just ready to get out. And they don't really listen, and they don't connect with the VA when they get out. And then later in years, when they get older, they find that they have some type of ailment or something that happened while they were in the military, and now they decide that they would like to get connected with the VA and get those illness or everything taken care of. Because most of them are young, so they don't feel, all of that pain and everything right now. And then when they get in their 60s and 70s, that's when they start feeling it, and they need to get it taken care of.
Okay, all right. So, and as I kind of expected, we're not even a good 5 minutes into the show yet, and I got a couple questions already coming across the board. One of them says, "Do you assist with disability claims?"
Well, what we do is we would go ahead and we would take the individual and we would get whatever his issues are, and we'll make sure that he gets all his paperwork together, his medical records, which is very big. The 214s, believe it or not, a lot of people lose track of the DD 214s. And once we have all their paperwork together, then we will go ahead, we'll help them put their packet together, and then they could either submit it or they could go ahead and they could go to a VSO representative from some other entity and go ahead and submit their paperwork. So the biggest thing is getting their paperwork together.
Okay,
Make sure
all
they
right.
file a claim.
All right, good question. And we had another question here from Ms. Fry. She says, please list services you provide for veterans. That's a good one.
Okay.
Okay, some of the services that we provide for veterans, we do assist them with paperwork for their VA claims. We help them get like VA health care. We don't, we, you know, help them, guide them on what they need to do to get the VA health care and get their VA ID. We also assist with pretty much everything that the veteran needs. We when we help them with the paperwork to get connected with the VA, we follow through with everything. And Mr. Prescott can pretty much tell you what the VA benefits.
Yeah, well, we help them with all the VA benefits that they have. You know, the DICs. We do it with the that's for your widows and your dependents. If the veteran passes away, we help them get put the paperwork in for the DICs. We help them file for their pensions. We help them file for their education benefits, something that a lot of them leave on the table. We teach them how to go back, show them how to go back and reclaim that. And then you go to your claims. And when you start with your claims, a lot of people don't realize um, the VA will tell you that the burden of proof is on you, the individual, proving that whatever happened to you happened while you were serving in the military. And so that goes right back to whenever they first get out. It's keeping all your paperwork together, getting your medical records, getting copies of your medical records, and making sure that you put them in a safe place so that if you ever get ill or you become sick or whatever and you need to file that claim, you have that paperwork there. If you do not have that paperwork, then yes, you can still file a claim, but it's going to take it that much longer to be adjudicated. It's because you have to send off, you have to get your records, and sometimes it take a couple months, sometimes it take a year. We don't know how long it's going to take you. So that is one of the biggest things. Also, we help them with homelessness. We help them try to find a place. We help them go out and establish themselves in the community. We help with job placement. So we have a lot of different resources that we do use here in the community and also nationwide that we can help the veterans with if they have an issue. Like we said, they get frustrated because they go to 10 different places and get 10 different answers and not the answer that they need. What we do, we take those 10 different places out the way. We're going to find the answers for them, get the answers to them so they can continue on with their journeys.
All right, all right. I love that. I love that answer there, Mr. Prescott. I tell you what, the boards are blowing up right now, and I got a few questions of my own, but I'm gonna go ahead and go to Miss Katie. Miss Katie says, "Can you tell me the biggest challenge veterans face initially when they transition to the civilian sector, and how can we prepare better?"
Well, one of the biggest challenges that they face is fitting into the civilian world. Um, what they do need to do when they get out is they need to connect with different veteran organizations when they get out, whether it be the American Legion, the VFW, or even private uh, organizations. They need to stay connected with those organizations because they receive the updated information as laws change to be able to help them, with resume writing, help them get jobs because a lot of them don't know how to get a good paying job to be able to pay the rent that they have to pay now or the mortgage payment. So to better transition out of the military, make sure before they get out, they have all their medical records, they have their personnel records, and make sure they connect with a nonprofit organization or the VA when they get out.
Okay, before I get to our next several questions that is coming through, can you guys both give a little bit of background about yourselves for one to say, well, what makes Faye Prescott or Emmett Prescott such experts about veteran affairs and veteran services?
Well, after giving about 28 years of service, I know a little bit about a little bit. So it isn't the point of being the expert. It's the point about doing your research, learning what you need to learn, learning how to maneuver through the system. And that's one thing that they don't realize once they get out the military. It's a system and it's cumbersome and it's a lot of paperwork involved in it. And so me, myself, once I got out, once I finally retired, um, went ahead and did the claims and everything for myself. And I had all the paperwork that I needed to complete the claim, and I put it in, and everything went straight on through, and it came on back. So, as far as being the expert is having the correct documentation for your claims whenever you file it. And that's where the expert comes in at. Because if you don't have the proper documentation when you file your claims, you're going to run into a lot of different issues that you're going to have to be going back and forth with VA about getting different paperwork, different doctors, different physicals. So it alleviates a lot of that. I didn't know that initially, and I found out for myself once I got out. These are the things that it takes in order to be successful when you're dealing with the VA.
Okay,
Well,
all
I'm a
right.
little bit different when I got out. I'm the person that I was just talking about. When you go through the briefings, you just go through them because you're just ready to go get out. That's me. I went through those briefings just to go through them, and I was just ready to get out. And when I got out, I didn't know anything about VA. I learned from him about VA and going to VA. So I didn't do claims, and I had a service connected injury, and I didn't go through my claim process like I was supposed to. So I was one of the hard hit veterans that got out, and now I can tell you what not to do. Don't go down the same road that I went down. Get all your information and be prepared for when you get out because it's very important.
Right, right, right. Excellent, excellent information. I knew we got a few more questions coming here for some of the viewers, and I knew this one was
Sure.
going to be coming to you.
Yeah.
She says, Ms. Fry says, do you think the new administration will really end concurrent receipt of VA disability and retirement pay? How do you think this will affect the average veteran if it does go into effect? Mr.
Okay.
Prescott, you want to
Well,
answer that?
yeah, of course. Because that is a question that's on a lot of veterans' minds. First of all, Congress has to do that. Okay. The money's appropriated through Congress. And so the new administration coming in, they can put in what they will want to do. But however, Congress is the one that administrates the money. They're the handlers of the money. And so we don't have to be concerned about what the president is going to do. We got to be concerned about what that Congress is going to do. Those elected officials that we put up there on Capitol Hill, those senators and those House of Representatives, they're the ones that will make a decision on whether or not they're going to mess with the veterans pay. So I would advise all veterans to write their congressman and let them know how you feel about them messing with the disability and VA period.
And Mr. Prescott, that is so well put, because a lot of times we forget that our elected officials that we have up there like this, we still have the power of the pen. We still have the
Right.
power to send that email, to send that letter to them, say, hey, I don't like the way this is going. We know we need change. Can we please make this happen? And a lot of times we just forget about that, and we'll allow them to do what they want to do as they will, because they haven't heard from us. Like this. So I'm glad you said that, and I'm glad you put that into play to let all of our viewers know that we still have the power within us as the governing body. All right. Got another question here from Ms. Thompson. She says, do you help with VA housing purchases?
We do not help with VA housing purchases. We pretty much are a resource center when we can connect you with someone who can help you with that. We have a lot of people that we partnership with, and we connect them to the right resources that you need. And just if you do not live in Savannah, Georgia, that does not mean we cannot help you.
Okay. Outstanding.
And I,
Outstanding.
and I'd like to go ahead and add on to that. As far as the VA housing, okay, you have to go ahead and you have to make sure that you're eligible to receive VA benefits to get your VA housing. Okay, so that all goes back down to that DD 214. It goes back down to what type of discharge you got when you got out the military. So a lot of veterans think, hey, I could just go ahead and I get my VA loan and purchase me a home. Well, you have to make sure that you have all your paperwork right. It all comes right back to that paperwork. Your paperwork has got to be correct in order for things to happen for you.
Yes, and we give
Outstanding.
workshops on that where we have a realtor and a mortgage lender that will talk specifically on that. So if you follow us on our website or our Facebook, you'll know when those workshops come up.
All right. And I was just going to ask that, when you got veterans throughout this great nation, and those who are overseas and Germany and Japan and all those great countries working there, is there a way for them to follow you guys or to find out what's going on or to receive help from My Veterans Place, because you are in Savannah, Georgia?
Yes, we have a podcast that we have going on also. It's just audio and not visual, but on our podcast, we do have a lot of soldiers that's following us in Germany, in Korea, where we're able to give them information that can help. And not only do we help the service members, we also help the family members that they have at home too of deployed soldiers.
All right, great. Got another question here from Miss Loman. Says, what are some upcoming events that you all have that we can support? Okay.
One of our largest upcoming event that we have is our annual Military and Veterans Family Day. It's a cookout. We were supposed to have it in October, but due to the storm that we had here in Savannah, we were not able to have it. So that is one of our largest events where we have over 300 military families and veterans come out to have a relaxing day. We have games, we have music, lots of food, and they just come out. So we do need a lot of support and help with that event.
All right. We got another question here from Miss Fry, and it's a pretty lengthy one. It says, I hear about the homelessness problem among veterans in your experience. Is this only a problem for veterans who serve but didn't retire? Have you ever encountered a higher ranking veteran who actually retired after 20 years or more experiencing homelessness? And if so, what led them to that point? Can you share a story, please?
We have experienced veterans of all ages, female and males, and veteran and families that have been homeless and higher ranking. Um, some of them have experienced PTSD. Our new veterans that are getting out now in with our Afghan war in Iraq, they suffer in PTSD, and a lot of them don't know how to get help. So a lot of mental health plays a part, and a lot of them become addicted to alcohol and drugs, which lead them to lose jobs, and then they end up losing homes, and then they become homeless, and some of them go to jail, and we see that happening all over, not just in Savannah, Georgia, but we have had an officer who went through that. He started drinking, and one drink led to another and to another, and then he just got addicted to alcohol. Had a very good job, very good paying job,
Yeah.
and he ended up losing his job, and he became homeless after he lost his home and his family. So he became homeless. So we've helped people from all over to try to get help. Mental
Okay,
health is
all
one
right.
of the biggest thing that leads to homelessness.
And
All
so
right. I know we
I
got
would
another.
add to that.
Go ahead.
I would add to that that yes, they do 20 years and they get their retirement, but like she has said, mental health is a big factor on people becoming homeless that retire from the military. Is the mental health, um, the stresses that go along with that, and the stresses of getting out and getting into the civilian world. Um, One thing leads to another one. The next thing you know, they're either going to jail, they're addicted to drugs, they've lost their family, and it's on and on and on. And so it's prevalent with veterans all over. And just because you retire after 20 years, it doesn't mean that they're squared away, they're good to go. No, they have issues that also have to be dealt with also.
Okay. We got another question here from Mr. Williams. Mr. Williams says, I've come across a lot of veterans that way years to process their claims, but also process their retirement paperwork. Can you all assist with that as well or point them in the right direction?
Um, yeah, sure. Um, if you are a regular Army retirement, a lot of people don't understand this or know this. You have to actually put in to retire once you get your 20 years in. It isn't automatic. It isn't 20 years, I retire, I start getting my check. No, you have to put in for retirement. Okay? And if you're National Guard or Reserves, you also have to put in for retirement. It doesn't automatically start at the age of 60. It doesn't automatically start once you retire after 20 years of service. You have to actually put in for that. And yes, we do help out with that process, especially on the National Guard and the Reserve side of the house. Yes, we do. We will help you with that to get that process started. I just had a young man come up to me. He has served with me, and he finally turned 60 years old. And he's like, "What did I do? What I need to do, sir? What I need to do, sir?" I mean, I said, "Well, we got to put you got to put in for your packet, man, if you want to start getting your check." So we got him we got him together with the right people that he needed to talk to, and he got his packet
Yeah.
submitted and everything. And so now, within about the next month, he'll start receiving his retirement check. So it's
I
not
tell you what,
automatic.
these are some excellent questions because there are so many of those out there who are active duty and been in the military for a while who don't know these answers and are just kind of walking around aimlessly and nobody's pointing them in the right direction. So I do appreciate the knowledge that you are partnering here tonight for those active duty members and those who have gotten out for things that they need to do. We got another question here. It says, do you think the VA can facilitate or have improved overall since the huge scandal about substandards care? What do you think about that?
I can speak on my behalf because I've been dealing with VA for about 20 years now. And before the scandal broke, yes, the VA system was pretty cumbersome. It really was. It's like they really wasn't doing a great job of taking care of the veterans. But after the scandal, after a few shakeups, the VA has became better. It's not as cumbersome as it used to be. One of the biggest things I think that helped out the veterans with VA is now everything is online. You got va.gov. You go to va.gov. You go ahead and get your password, sign in. Now your sign in, that's kind of tricky because now you got to go through DS login or ID me. You got to have one of those sign-ins to get into va.gov. Also, when you used to go to My Health eVet, well, that's gone away now. Everything's going to go through va.gov. So you have to be able to put in for ID me or DS login just to get into the system. But once you get into that system there's a lot of information right there, a lot of things that you can read through, and questions that you may have are there. So that was a big resource and a big help to the veterans that actually utilizes that program and do it. So yes, I think they have improved. There's still room for improvement. They can do better with some things, and hopefully we'll just continue to fight this fight and get to where we need to get to.
Now they offer community care.
Yeah, so now you got community care. If you go to VA, they can't see you within 30 days. You have an option to go to a care provider within your communities. And so I don't know how many people know about that, but you don't have to see VA. If they cannot get you in within 30 days, you can request for community care and go be seen out in the community. And
Outstanding,
that
outstanding.
and that loops back to what my CEO was saying earlier. Your veteran service organizations, your VFW, your American Legion, you have to join these organizations because that's what makes us stronger. That's who's advocating for the veterans up there on Capitol Hill. Like I said, up on Capitol Hill, not at the White House, but on Capitol Hill, because that's who controls the money.
Right, right, right. Outstanding. I love it. Again, folks, viewers, those who are watching, please take time to share this broadcast live with friends and family members that you feel who can use this information, that needs to know this information, who needs to get a hold of My Veterans Place so they can get the help that they need. All right. So I think this question is going to be directed to you, Miss Prescott. Basically, can you walk us through a day in the life at My Veterans Place? What does your day-to-day activities consist of?
Well, just starting with today, we had to do a presentation to a senior living facility of 200 with the services that we provide. And once we do those presentations, then we answer the questions, we help wherever needed, and then we also have to work with our veterans that we see when we help with their paperwork. We answer emails. We answer the phone calls that come in from our website. Like I said, we service more than just Savannah, Georgia. So those that visit our website, if they have anything that they need us to do, then I connect them to someone in their area that can help them. If it's something that we can't do online through Zoom, then I connect them with an organization in their area that can help them with the paperwork and everything they need. Like I said, we don't just operate here in Savannah, Georgia. We operate throughout the nation and helping veterans. So that's my day to day as I wake up answering phone calls, answering emails, helping veterans with some of them finding permanent housing. That's my area, helping veterans find permanent housing, putting together our workshops for the week. We do different workshops and activities throughout the week, and just it's just a lot. It is a lot. If you visit our website, you'll see pretty much a lot of the stuff that we do. We not only do the workshops in person, but we do them virtually. So military families around the different or installations can join us. All our workshops are for veterans, veterans and their families, family members. Nothing is paid, everything is free. Everything that is offered to the veterans is free. Most of our workshops are financial workshops for financial advisors and counselors. They offer those services for free to family members and veterans. And these workshops are given by an organization that works under Experian.
Okay, all right, love that. Got another question here, and I think this is a very interesting question. It says, can you talk about the support with the tiny houses and the car giveaway to veterans? I think I need to know a lot about that car giveaway because my little putt ain't working right now.
Okay, so that's someone that knows about our organization and what we do in the car gifting. Caliber Collision, if you've ever heard of them, is one of our partners. They have chose our organization to be a charity that goes out and find veterans and that's in need of a vehicle. We work in our region, and I'm not sure of all of the states that's in our region. They'll let me know that they have a car in a certain city and state, and then we'll find a veteran that's in need of a car. There are certain criteria that you have to have in order to get that car, but they will receive that car. It's a refurbished car, and they will receive that car with no car payments. All they have to do is be able to afford the insurance and the registration when it's time to renew the registration. There will be no car payments. That we have given away 3 cars. We not we, but we have helped 3 veterans receive a car with no payments. And those cars, when I say refurbished, they are brought back to almost looking brand new. They get brand new seats, brand new seat belts. Everything in that car looks like it's a brand new car. And these they're supported by Geico, Hertz Automotive, and so many more that sponsor. If they have children, they get brand new car seats. If they have a disability, then they'll get a vehicle according to the disability that they have. So we do help with that. The tiny house veterans that we have, these are veterans that are here in Savannah, Georgia, that lives in on a community of tiny homes where we go out and we do programs with them every second and third Thursday from 4 to 5. So it is an array of activities that we do with them. And we also take them to semi-pro basketball games. They march in the Veterans Day parade with us. We do all sorts of things with them.
All right, man, that is amazing. So you said that the program extends beyond Savannah, Georgia, beyond the state of Georgia. Is that correct?
That's correct, yes.
So how do you figure out that veteran need that might be in Tennessee or North Carolina, Alabama, Texas? How do you find that veteran need? Do you have collaborative partners in each state that y'all work with?
Well, yeah, there are other veteran organizations in those states. We'll go through the American Legion, or we'll go through a National Guard or installation, and we'll talk to a Sergeant Major or Readiness NCO, and we'll ask them, do you have any soldiers or anyone that you would like to refer to receive a car in that program? We have car giveaway that's either going to be mid-December or the beginning of January when the car is ready. And this is going to be for a guardsman that's in Atlanta.
Okay. All right. And do you happen to know, or can you give us a little intel, a little bit about, you said there's certain criterias that they will have to meet. What would be some of those criterias, like, hey, you can't you can't have 3 cars already to get a car, or
That's one.
That's one of the
you can't be
criteria.
working a 9 to 5 making $80,000 a year and you're going to get a car from us. What would be some of those
The
criteria, so the
the
veterans or
big
people watch this would know what to look out for?
the big 3 criteria is you cannot be the owner of a good running car. If you have a car, something got to really be wrong with that car, like it's breaking down on you all the time. But mostly they don't want you if you don't have a car. The second one is you have to be able to have some type of income to afford the insurance and the registration.
Okay.
The third thing is you cannot have any moving violations or a bad driving record for the past 3 years. And the other one is whatever state that the car is being gifted in, you have to have driver's license, valid driver's license in that state.
Wow. That criteria is not a really stringent one, so I'm sure the picking list has got to be kind of high. It's not like there's just one person in Savannah who meets that criteria. I'm sure there's got to be about 35 people who can meet that criteria. How do you decide between so many noble people who can actually be gifted that vehicle?
You would think that would be the case, but when we mention, would you like to approve a background check? Some of them don't want that. So we vet them and we listen to the story on why they don't have a vehicle, and listen to if their struggles, as I would say. What's your story? That's what I always tell them. What is your story? So when they give me their application and give me their story, I don't choose who gets the car. I write it up and then I submit it to the team, and the team chooses who gets the car. And so
Okay,
far,
outstanding.
everyone that I've submitted has received the car.
All right, we got a question here from Miss Noah. Says, how can other veterans volunteer with your amazing organizations?
That is great. Go to our website, www.mvpsavannah.org, and go to the volunteer, click on the volunteer tab, and fill out the information, and we'll contact you.
All right, got another question here, or I should maybe say a
have an
statement.
application process.
Says, my cousin-in-law is a lawyer that works for BVA. He says he often encounters veterans that are simply not interested in giving a claim. How have you ever met a veteran who just is not interested in accessing VA benefits?
Yes.
Every day.
Yes. Yes. We do have veterans out there, and it alludes back to the question that Pam had asked earlier. The veterans are going to do what they want to do. And some of them have became so discouraged with VA back in the day that they don't even want to mess with VA. They care less because of the way they was treated or the things that went on with them while they was trying to go ahead and file their claims or get associated with VA. And that was one of the biggest problems because they was being treated the way they was treated, and they think VA is still like that. So they don't want to go back through that abuse. And so they just don't even want to bother to even try to get what is due them. They earned it, but they don't care.
I've had a Vietnam veteran whose wife has been trying to get him to file a claim because when he was in Vietnam, he did step onto the Agent Orange, and he just won't file the claim. So yes, we do that. We do get that, and sometimes they're very seriously ill, and it's due to a service connection, and they won't file it.
They won't file it. They're not going to do it. I don't want to do it. I'm done. I'm not messing with
them. All right. So how can someone who's viewing this program, who's watching this live, who's going to see it rebroadcast through the other platforms, LinkedIn, Twitter, and X, and all those, how can someone donate to My Veterans Place to help you guys in your mission, in your cause, for what you're doing for our veterans across this great nation?
I'm going to say it again. Go to www.myveteransplacesavannah.org, and we have donation buttons throughout that website. We have different initiatives to donate to for our homeless veterans. We have a scholarship. We have different initiatives for you to donate to, and we would love the donations because every donation helps another veteran either get something to eat, put food on their table, help a veteran that's unsheltered be able to get into a hotel and sleep
Keep the lights
and
on.
keep their lights on. We help with utilities. It will help another veteran and their family.
Outstanding, outstanding. I love it. I love it. Hey, I tell y'all what, man, this has been awesome. And you, the viewers who had the amount of questions, of great questions that have been presented here, I think they were muchly needed because, as I said before, so many veterans out there and so many people don't understand what's going on, or they don't know how to access their benefits. They don't know how to do certain things. And when you have My Veterans Place out here, who's actually helping the veterans, showing them what they do, helping those who have become homeless, helping those who need housing, and now with the car giveaway, which is an outstanding thing, I think that, this is the right step in the right direction, what is needed within the veteran community. And with that, a lot of times, Mr. Prescott, Ms. Prescott, and veterans, when you're dealing with veterans, we often find that it's normally just those who have already done their time who are helping those who are veterans. Do you get a lot of support from the active duty soldiers there?
As far as support from them, we will see them, we will talk with them, but most of the time, the active duty side of the house, that's where we go for manpower. That's where we get manpower. If we're having an event or something, and we need some volunteers, we don't have enough, we will ask them to assist us, and they'll get us some soldiers or sailors or airmen to come help us, whatever that project is. So we get a lot of that. The biggest thing is that once they are out, is getting them involved with the organizations. Like we said before, staying in touch with the veteran organizations.
Yeah, we do get support from our local installations here in Savannah from the CSM. If we need any volunteers, he's offered if we need any volunteers, he have some soldiers that's willing to volunteer with any of the events that we have.
Well, you know how that works. It's either volunteer or voluntold, but one way or another, we're gonna get them.
All right, all right. I remember those voluntold days way too well. All right. Got another question here from Miss Samantha. She says, "What role does My Veterans Place play in advocating for veterans issues at the local or national level? And are there current advocacy efforts or policy changes that the organization is particularly focused on?" Ooh.
Okay, well, as far as the national level, we are in constant contact with our
Mm-hmm.
representative from Congress,
Mm-hmm.
and we are in constant contact with our senators up there in Congress. So they know of us, they know what we stand for, they know what we're trying to get done. Um, as far as local, the local officials, we do have contact with them also. And matter of fact, we all be at the same events most of the time. And now they're seeing that there's a difference being made within the community, the tiny homes community. And they're like, wow, look what's going on over here. And right now, we have pushed that organization um, to do better with our veterans and advocated some changes for those guys out there at the tiny homes where it has been beneficial to not only them, but also to the organization that operates that organization. And so we also have been getting phone calls and receiving phone calls from different cities within the state of
Yeah.
Georgia that wants to know exactly what goes on with our tiny homes and how can they base a tiny home community within their community for their veterans that are homeless and try to get a roof over their head. So yes, the advocacy is really large, We're pushing it as hard as we can, and we will continue to push it until we can't push it anymore.
Yes,
Very,
very
very good
happy
answer,
that
Mr. Prescott.
I'm happy
Question
that
though. Go ahead.
go ahead. I was just happy that Senator office always keeps in contact with us, whether they're calling or sending us an email, wanting to know how his office can help our veterans. So we do stay in contact with his office, and we will be meeting with his representative coming up soon. And also we stay in contact with Congressman Buddy Carter.
So with my Veterans Place doing so well and getting so much promotion from neighboring cities and town, is there a vision that you guys have in pushing my Veterans Place from out of Savannah, Georgia, and adding on to different counties or adding on to different states? Bringing that business model that y'all are using there in Savannah to other cities, towns, and states.
That is my vision. That is my goal. As we grow, like he said, we have people contacting us. He said Georgia, but just yesterday we had someone contact us from South Carolina. They would like to what we're doing. They say they don't want to reinvent the wheel because what we're doing is working for us, and we're doing a pretty good job at it. So they want us to come and train their people on how to work with these veterans. We're just a large resource center, and we ask people. A lot of people don't want to call around 100 different organizations trying to get the right organization on what's wrong with them or what they need help with. We ask you to just call My Veterans Place Savannah as we do the calling and the walking for you to connect you with the right people. We are that one call, that's all. One stop shop.
Hey, I love that. I love that. And I love these great questions are coming in. And I got one last question that I want to pose to you guys. Do you guys currently have, or will you institute a mental health professional in your organization to help those veterans who you might see, and you can say, hey, you know what? You need to go see Dr. Such and such down the hall to the left and talk with her or him about some of your issues, because as you know, and as we mentioned earlier, mental health plays a big part onto why a lot of our veterans have become homeless. Do you plan on instituting something like that with the organization?
We have collaborative partners for that work with us with mental health.
Okay, outstanding. Hey, guys, again, I appreciate you guys for coming on tonight and sharing this information about My Veterans Place. Those who are viewing, please take time to share this broadcast with some family members and friends that you know who need this information that My Veterans Place have and is offering. Ms. Prescott, Mr. Prescott, is there anything that you guys would like to add before we proceed to close?
I just want to thank you for inviting us on. I know you have been trying to get us on this broadcast for quite some time, and we finally said that we're going to do it, and we did it tonight because so many things happen in a course of a day. I don't like to commit to something and can't follow through with it. But I know November is Veterans Month. For me, it's Veterans Month. We have something every day that we have to attend. But I am happy and glad to work with veterans. I'm glad to work with families, and it's a joy to bring a smile and help people. And I just wanted to say that we received word on last month that we were selected to receive the Lifetime Achievement Presidential Award because of the service that we're doing with the veterans. So we'll be receiving that award on April 5th, 2025. My Veterans Place, Savannah.
Outstanding. I love it. Great cheers for you guys. Man, I'm trying to get out of here, but we got a few more questions. I don't want to leave these people hanging. All right.
I told you it's going. You're getting to this ball right here. It's a big ball, man. There's a lot of help out there.
Got a question from Miss Pamela. She says, what do you think happened to all the living quarters choose from Iraq, Afghanistan? I always thought it'd be a good idea to ship them from there to here and build homeless shelters for the community? Good question. Have y'all ever thought about that?
We've thought about that, but however, they're not going to bring any of that stuff from Iraq and Afghanistan over here. It's in country over there. It's going to stay in country over there. They're not going to let us bring that back.
Outstanding. Hey, I tell y'all what, again, I appreciate you guys for coming in tonight. And as Ms. Prescott said, yeah, it's been a couple years in coming and making for this to make this happen. But it's good, though. It's good that the community get to see you all. It's good that other people get to hear about you all across the nation. And hopefully the people who shared this broadcast live tonight, they're sharing it with somebody who actually needs your support and your help. So I do appreciate you guys for taking time to stop in and speak with us about my veterans place in Savannah, Georgia.
I appreciate you.
Thank you.
All right. All right. Folks, as always, remember, we do have our entrepreneurship classes that will be coming up in January. As I said, we'll be starting those off with Oakwood University. Then from there, we'll probably be moving on and supporting Drake as well, State Technical College, and our local communities. There's a lot of good things we got coming up that's going to be happening with CNI Solutions. So make sure you're paying attention to the website, our social media pages, and we'll be out there doing it. So as always, remember, your yesterday is not your today, and your today is not your tomorrow. Good night.